This is shuttle launch control at T-minus 4 hours, 28 minutes and counting. The countdown for the launch of the Space Shuttle Atlantis on mission STS-30 with Magellan has been going smoothly overnight. There are no concerns, no problems being worked either by the launch team or by the payload test team. It is raining at the launch pad currently. There are scattered showers in the vicinity. There are a number of showers west of the Space Center out over the St. John's and also downrange about 25 miles or so.
This is shuttle launch control at T-minus 3 hours and holding. The ice team and the closeout crew are in the pad area now. The ice team is on the zero level or the deck of the mobile launch platform, and there they will inspect the tank's aft dome and the shuttle engines. Everything has been going very smoothly in our countdown. The weather people saying still that there is a 60% chance that everything will be satisfactory for launch on time this afternoon. And NASA Test Director Ron Phelps has been in contact now with personnel over in the astronaut quarters and has given them permission to wake the flight crew in preparation for this afternoon's launch of STS-30. We're standing by to go to the crew quarters at the O&C building for the crew breakfast. In the center, of course, Commander Dave Walker, going over to the end from left to right, is Mission Specialist Norm Thagard, Pilot Ron Graby, Commander Dave Walker, Mission Specialist Mary Cleve, and the rookie of the crew, Mission Specialist Mark Lee. This is shuttle launch control at T-minus 3 hours and holding. In the suit room now with scenes from the crew quarters of Commander Dave Walker in the process of completing his preliminary suiting up for the trip out to the pad. Next to him is the pilot Ron Graby. Ron Graby has about 98 hours in the orbiter Atlantis, which he plans on flying today. He was on 51J, the second DoD mission, and then Mark Lee, he looks like he's about ready for his trip out. Once you get into those suits, they are not as comfortable as the coveralls which they used before. Dr. Mary Cleve and Dr. Norm Thagard on the opposite side of the suit room, completing their buttoning up and zipping and that sort of thing. Those suits are basically protective clothing, which were made necessary when the decision to install an escape system in the orbiter was made. They will be putting on their parachutes, communications caps, survival equipment in the White Room just prior to actually going into the orbiter itself. And here comes the crew now, being led out really by Mission Specialist Norm Thagard, Mark Lee, Mary Cleve, and the commander and pilot, Commander Dave Walker waving, and pilot Ron Graby waving as they go into the elevator for the trip down to the first floor. Usually a number of signs saying good luck Atlantis, and good luck to the crew of STS-30. The people clapping now as they come out of the elevator. being led out by a security specialist, Commander Dave Walker, pilot Ron Graby, waving to the people who are there in the news media, and Saggard, mission specialist, waving, Mark Lee and Mary Cleve moving towards the recreational vehicle. There's Chief of the Astronaut Office, Dan Brandenstein. He will be flying the weather aircraft today, and that's going to be a very important task because the weather here is changing, and it still has to change quite a bit before we get to launch time. You can see a lot of the people, several hundred workers from that building. That building houses quite a lot of the people who do engineering in the payload world and in the shuttle world. With the Astrovan now moving off on its 9-mile trip out to the pad. It will go out in convoy with an emergency vehicle and with a security escort. The Astrovan now has made its way past the roadblocks and is proceeding to the pad surface, where the astronauts will get out and take the elevator to the 195-foot level of the big service structure. There, they will walk across the two access aisles into the white room where they'll put on the rest of their escape equipment and helmets before entering the orbit. The closeout crew has been making final preparations for the crew arrival, which is in the cockpit and is covered by Admiral Lucian Melnick, to ensure that the crew members do not inadvertently brush against those switches which cause the reaction control jets to fire in the bulky pressure suits while getting into their seats. The Astrovan has come to a stop now, and the crew leaving the van and walking over to the elevator where they'll be going up to the 195-foot level. And the crew now has arrived at the 195-foot level and are walking across the orbiter access arm where the closeout crew is waiting, and the first people to be entering the orbiter, shaking hands now with that closeout team, Commander Dave Walker and pilot Ron Graby.
OTC CDR, I'll be moving my seat for a few minutes. Copy.
This is Shuttle Launch Control at T-minus 2 hours, 20 minutes and counting. Pilot Ron Graby now has entered the orbiter as well as the Commander Dave Walker. And you've been hearing Dave Walker begin his checks with the through the communication system with the Launch Control Center here and with the Mission Control Center in Houston. The next of the mission specialists to finish their suiting up will be Mary Cleve. Mary Cleve is responsible for orchestrating the secondary payloads and the photography on board the orbiter. The secondary payloads include the experiments with the mesoscale lightning experiment and then also some crystal growth experiments. Dr. Cleve getting into the orbiter now.
Okay, need someone on 183. Thank you.
you, and the following step is FET dual interrupt notification will be activated momentarily. That's step 492.
Copy. OTC, COC212. Go ahead. Yeah, 438 is complete. 439 is complete. I'll verify the OMRSD. 440 and OMRSD are complete. 441 is also complete at this time. Copy that. OTC asked the caution warning balance has been adjusted. That's complete. Okay, copy that, sir.
NPD, MS3 is 1. How do you read?
MS3 is NPD. You read you 5 by. How many?
Loud and clear.
We'll have a good flight for you today.
Appreciate that.
Mission Specialist Dr. Norm Thagard moving into the orbiter now. He has been standing there waiting his turn.
MS1, NPD, read you 5 by. How many? Good morning, loud and clear. Houston, Atlantis, MS1, how do you read?
Atlantis MS1, Houston, you're loud and clear. Good morning, Mark.
The iLoad process underway now in the updating of the computers. The countdown clock at T-minus 1 hour, 31 minutes, 9 seconds and counting. This is shuttle launch control. The countdown clock will start now in 5 seconds. 2, 1, mark, and T-minus 9 minutes and counting. The countdown events now being controlled by the ground launch sequencer from now until T-minus 31 seconds, when we begin the switchover to the onboard redundant set launch sequencer. The ground launch sequencer is part of the launch processing system and operates by relaying commands to the onboard computers, which then report back to the LPS system that the commands have been executed. The primary job of the onboard computers is to check that all of the launch commit criteria, such as propellant loads, temperatures, pressures, and other measurements, are normal and staying within their prescribed limits.
Thank you.
The Maryland Island tracking station has gone to high power on their S-band antenna. Coming up on the 8-minute point in our countdown. T-minus 8 minutes and counting.
Flight OTC. Houston flight OTC. PLT OTC. OTC PLT go. Configure fuel cell essential bus source switches.
Orbiter test conductor Mike Key has requested that Houston send the stored program commands, which is the final update on antenna management and frequency changes, and he has asked pilot Ron Graby to reconfigure the fuel cells, and we have gone for orbiter access arm retracts.
This slide go?
This is the walkway used by the astronauts to enter the orbiter. In case of an emergency, the arm can be placed back into position within about 15 seconds. Coming up on the 7-minute point in our countdown, the SRB and external tank safe and arm devices have been armed.
NTD SRO on 212. Go ahead. Final clear to launch from the range. Copy, thank you.
A final clear to launch from the Superintendent of Rain Operations as we come off T-minus 4 minutes and counting. The main engine final purge sequence is underway. The orbiter flight control surfaces, such as elevon, speed brakes, and rudders, now being moved through a pre-programmed pattern to verify that they are ready for launch. T-minus 3 minutes, 40 seconds and counting. T-minus 3 minutes, 30 seconds. All 3 engines now being moved through a pattern to verify their readiness for ascent flight control. After going through their paces, they'll be aligned to their start position. T-minus 3 minutes, 18 seconds and counting. We're coming up on the 3-minute part in the countdown. At T-minus 2 minutes and 55 seconds, the start of external tank liquid oxygen pressurization will begin, and the gaseous nitrogen purges of the main engines will be terminated. T-minus 3 minutes and counting.
Let's just go for ET-LO2 pressurization.
The liquid oxygen tank being pressurized. The ground launch sequencer has started to retract the gaseous oxygen vent tube or beanie cap on the external tank. The computers will make a final check to ensure the vent arm is fully retracted at the T-minus 37 second point. T-minus 2 minutes.
No unexpected errors. Copy that, sir.
T-minus 2 minutes, 20 seconds. The pilot Ron Gravy has cleared the caution and warning memory. The crew will be reminded to close their visors on their launch and entry helmets at the 2-minute point. It says 5 seconds away from that.
OTC to flight crew, close and lock your visors and initiate O2 flow, and have a good flight. And PLT, OTC, turn on debris camera at T-minus 10 seconds.
T-minus 1 minute, 50 seconds and counting. Liquid hydrogen replenish of the external tank is started and pressurization to flight level is underway.
We are ready to fly. Copy that.
Command.
We'll go on the debris camera. Copy that.
Commander Dave Walker saying they're ready to fly. T-minus 1 minute, 30 seconds and counting. At the T-minus 1 minute point, the ground launch sequencer will verify that the shuttle main engines are ready to start. T-minus 1 minute, 20 seconds and counting. The liquid hydrogen tank now at flight pressure. Coming up on the 1 minute point in our countdown. T-minus 1 minute and counting. The sound suppression water system is now armed. Pre-liftoff water will be released at T-minus 16 seconds. T-minus 50 seconds and counting. The hydrogen burn igniters have been armed. They'll burn off any residual hydrogen gas under the main engines. T-minus 40 seconds and counting. The external tank heaters on the ET to orbiter structural attachments have been turned off. Orbiter computers have, and we have gone for auto-sequence start. T-minus 26 seconds, 25. T-minus 21 seconds. The SRB nozzle gimbal profile underway. T-minus 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. We have a go for main engine start. 7, 6, main engine start. 0, and liftoff. Planetary science begins as Atlantis clears the tower.
Standing by for engines to throttle down. All 3 engines will be throttled back to 65% performance as the vehicle passes through the area of maximum dynamic pressure. Three engines now at 65%. Velocity now 1,000 feet per second. Atlantic 2 miles. Engines now throttling back up to 104% performance. Atlantis velocity now 1,500 feet per second.
Go with throttle up.
Standing by for separation from the SRB. Velocity now 2,000 feet per second. Altitude 10 nautical miles. Downrange distance 8 nautical miles. This is Mission Control. All APUs looking good. 3 engines at 104%. This is Mission Control, SRB, SEP confirmed, velocity 4,300 feet per second, Atlantic downrange 35 nautical miles at an altitude of 30 nautical miles. 3 engines all looking good at 104%.
Atlantis, performance nominal.
This is Mission Control.
Roger.
This is Mission Control. That call lets the crew know that the SRBs and engines are providing the expected thrust. Make it to the transatlantic abort site on only 2 engines, should that become necessary. 3 engines at 104%.
Atlantis, Houston, everything down here looks real good to us. You have a preliminary go for orbit ops and getting out of the suits?
Atlantis, Roger. Thank you, Frank.
Now looking at the business end of the inertial upper stage Magellan stack. This is the nozzle for the solid rocket motor.
Atlantis, Houston, Sunnyvale had a good direct check and their command is complete.
Okay, Pierre, we copy. We're proceeding into the IUSPI lock checkout.
Roger that. Atlantis, Houston, good morning, and congratulations on a super day yesterday.
Good morning, Houston. We're up and around, everybody's feeling good, trying to find toothbrushes.
This is Mission Control, Flight Day 2's Wake Up Music.
Atlantis, we thank you for the fine Wake Up Music.
This is Mission Control, Flight Day 2 Wake Up Music was the theme music from Superman.
Atlantis, Houston, we're getting good mid-deck TV of Ron and Dave.
Mike, as you can see on the TV, Dave and I are trying to get the CVP DSO in working order, and we're having trouble zeroizing the data readout on it. Do you have any CVP principal investigators handy, or can you get them over?
Okay, well, we're looking into it now.
The problem that we're having is the static readout on the pressure sensor is minus 0.210. And we're supposed to be able to zeroize that to plus or minus 0.005 in order to start the experiment. And the granularity of runs that it takes that we're supposed to do just would not really allow us to be very effective with that zero reading that we've got on there of minus 0.210.
Okay, we copied all that and we're looking into it.
When we feel around inside this thing with the jeweler's screwdriver, we can't seem to find anything that turns or twists or pushes in or out that will enable us to change this reading on the outside. It seems unaffected by our efforts, so there's obviously a trick we don't know.
Okay, Dave, we copy.
This is Mission Control. These TV views show Mary Cleve using the Payload General Support computer as she's monitoring the fluid experiments apparatus.
Mary wants to describe the downlinkers.
Okay, go ahead, Mary.
We're starting in the beginning of the crystal, moving down the crystal. You're beginning to see the folds here. Just little striations, convolutions in the surface. You can see at one point approaching, but we actually did make contact for about 2 inches with the glass container. This is at 63 watts. You can see that now. We're right on the contact area.
Mary, copy that. Thanks for the information. That's great pictures.
We're going to give you some mid-deck TV now. You can see that Dave is taking advantage of this break in between FEA samples to exercise on the treadmill.
Okay, Mary, thanks. And we see that down here, about 2 minutes from Tidris LOS. We'll pick you up on the west side at 5:52, and we hope to still see Dave running.
Okay, he's got most of a marathon he's going to do today.
Copy that.
Atlantis, Houston, good morning.
Good morning, Houston. Thanks for the great music.
You're welcome. We hope you slept well.
We did sleep well, and we're ready to roll today.
Okay, David, as soon as we finished with the sample, what I did is I ran around the mid-deck and then also up onto the flight deck and did some earth valves just to show the capability of the camcorder. I think this is the first time we've really done showing all of its capability. Zooming in on the Society of Experimental Test Pilots patch, I don't know if you can read it.
It's a little dark here
We have an Institute of Higher Learning. We don't have any Cornell or Stanford patches on board, only some of the
We'll see
better
if we can
schools.
fix that in the future.
Okay, here we have your basic cow. It's an Angus cow. I'd like to say hello to all the farmers of America. One of your own is up here. Now we'll head up to the flight deck. You can see that it works pretty good both inside and looking outside at the same time. The lighting doesn't seem to bother it too much.
Mark, we're getting great pictures down here.
And let us know how Earth odds looks through the camcorder. This is just about sunset, but a little bit later on we'll show, when we get to sunrise, we'll show a little bit of the Earth, and you can tell us how that looks.
Mark, it looks great right now.
Oh, that looks real good. We'll try to give you some live downlink of the Earth. As you can see, it has a fairly significant zoom capability, and it stays in focus fairly well during the whole time. Okay, David, now we're picking up the Texas coast. I think we're starting down by Brownsville. I can't exactly tell for sure, but we've got Padre Island. We'll follow it all the way up the coast, and we'll get a pretty good shot of Houston.
And we're still watching.
And David, is it hard to watch because it's moving so much? I'll try to be a little bit steadier if that gives you a problem.
Can you be steadier on a playback, Mark? Actually, it's not that bad at all, Mark.
Okay. And there you guys are.
Mark, we had no idea what kind of a nice day it is outside.
Yeah, we thought you'd enjoy watching this more than a bunch of numbers up on the screen. And here's the Mississippi River Delta. And then we'll run along the coast from New Orleans over to Florida, and then we'll run on down the coast to Tampa, St. Pete.
Okay. And Atlantis, we're losing the picture right now because of blockage. But that was real good. We appreciate it. Those are great shots.
Okay, we'll try to be a little bit steadier next time.
And we've got a good picture of Sven and Ali right now. We're here to pump you up.
Yeah, you betcha. And David, while you're working on something, you work on our goal for EVA.
That was Mary Lee taking a disconnected cable from Mark Lee, who's actually doing the bolt turning right now.
All right, Tammy, go ahead.
Yeah, Dave, just a reminder, we'd like for you to make just a quick visual inspection of all the pins to make sure they're straight before you make each of the connections.
Atlantis, Houston, good morning. It's time to come home. We have you through Dakar for the next 5.5 minutes.
We like the wake-up music.
Roger, thank you. Good morning.
Atlantis, Houston.
Go ahead.
Pending WCS deactivation, you have a go for deorbit burn. Your signal is Charlie, Dave.
Roger that. We'll be leaving Marshall on time.
Roger. Atlantis, Houston.
Atlantis, Roger.
Dave, we'd like you to select Edwards 22 on Area 15. We'll be going for the crosswind DTO. Peaks are, the winds right now are 270 at 10, gust to 16. That gives us 7 to 12 knots crosswind on 22.
Mission Control, we have a visual shot now of Atlantis coming into Edwards, now traveling at a velocity of Mach 6, 136,000 feet altitude, 188 miles out from the runway.
Atlantis, Houston, we'd like nominal aim point. Expect a hack turn of 200 degrees. Speed brake should be about 15%.
Okay, say again the speed brake time.
Closed.
This is Mission Control. Flight Dynamics Officer confirms that Atlantis looks super, rolling onto final, beginning a left overhead turn in the heading alignment circle. Vehicle is almost perfectly lined up with a plot in Mission Control. Velocity now 600 feet per second, altitude 14,000 feet, 7 miles from the runway.
Atlantis, on glide slope, on center line, 280 at 8, gust to 16, 7 peak 12 from the right.
Roger that.
That last-minute wind information being passed to pilot Ron Graby and Commander Dave Walker. Atlanta is now 5 miles from the runway at a velocity of 500 feet per second, altitude 6,000 feet. Altitude 2,500 feet. And Walker will be taking the vehicle into the pre-flare maneuver, adjusting the glide slope to 1.5 degrees. Landing gear down and locked. Main gear touchdown. Nose gear touchdown. And Atlantis on her final rollout on runway 22 at Edwards. Convoy will be moving into place. It was, of course, previously located at runway 17, but it will be moving over to runway 22 to take care of all the post-landing activity following a safe homecoming. This is Mission Control. Here is the crew of STS-30 exiting the vehicle, led by Dave Walker. STS crew, they're being greeted by Dan Brandenstein and Don Putty from Johnson Space Center. Also among those greeting the returning crew of STS-30, Dale Myers, the Admiral Richard Truly, Acting Administrator of NASA.